Hello, well here's my Ashford traditional spinning wheel. Yes, I've got a new, well it's new to me, a new spinning wheel, and I was very pleased to get this one. Very kind people, it was a donation to Air Ambulance. I'm really pleased with it. If you've watched earlier films, you know that I had a castle upright wheel. That now has a new life on a longboat and is being enjoyed in obviously the confined space. It's ideal on a longboat, a nice confined wheel. This one obviously is quite a bit larger. So in some respects not so popular because of its size, but actually it's a lovely wheel to use, and I think it's great, I really do, and I think it's an excellent wheel for anyone starting out in spinning. What I like about it is the wheel itself is quite large and it's also quite heavy, so you can spin and treadle at a nice gentle speed. I'll show you a bit of spinning on it, and I'll also do a bit of plying of some yarn and show you one or two features as we go along. So I say this one's the Ashford Traditional, and it's got a single drive band, and what's quite interesting is the tension is put on with what they call Scotch tension. So there's a little bit of fishing line which comes through here, goes along with tension springs, and then a little knob which you can tighten and loosen to adjust your tension, and it's the line rubbing on this part of the bobbin which actually gives you your tension. And it seems to work very well, fairly easily adjusted. I have actually renewed the springs because this is quite an old wheel, this one, and they only came with the one tension spring at the back here. But I've got the newer line and put the additional newer spring in as well, and I'm finding that gives it a very nice, even, stable bit of tension. So that's what it looks like. It's made out of a nice hard beech wood, and it's very solid, very functional. The good thing about these Ashford wheels, if you buy them second hand, you can get lots of replacement parts if you need them. Got a happy cat today, lit the fire, and he's having a nice snooze in the warmth. So this is the blue-faced Leicester that I've been spinning, and it's a very nice wool. It's got a staple length, that's like the fibre length, of about 3.5 inches, which makes it quite easy to feed through, and it just feels lovely and soft. So I've just put it through these two hooks. So I want to fill up this part of the bobbin, and then I use my little hook tool to come through the orifice there and pick my thread up. I can then pull it through, and I'll bring the camera around and you can see me do the spinning. So I have my strand of wool coming out the orifice, and I've got a nice bit here of comb top. So this wool has been basically washed and prepared, and it does smell nice. So I'm going to spin the wheel clockwise and then join this wool on. I'll just get a little pinch of wool going. See if you get it, pinch it in the middle and pull it out. It comes out like a V shape, and it seems to join quite nicely like that. I want to try and sort of avoid over twisting the wool. Right, so there we are. Get our join and then pinch and pull basically. My right hand is literally just really supporting the wool. My thumb does a little bit of pushing it sometimes, but now I'm just pedaling away, and what the idea is, you get yourself a nice little rhythm going where you can have your foot and your pulling hand. So my left hand is doing like a pull and then a pinch, a pull and then a pinch, and my right hand is just supporting the wool. But you end up with this nice little woolen thread. I think I may have a bit too much twist on this, so slow it down a bit. I can take the tension off and let it slip a bit more. In fact, I think I will. So to adjust my tension, I just release this little knob. I'm turning it clockwise and it takes the tension off. I think I had that a bit high, and those springs are compressing down. You want a bit of slippage, but not too much. Start it up again, start it on a little V twist, and it's the sort of pinch and pull. And off we go again. So my right hand supporting, my left hand pulling and pinching, and I'll try and get myself into this nice rhythm again of working the wheel. So, pull, pinch, pull, pinch, and just keeping a nice speed on that wheel. Joining on the next little bit is the same idea. So again, pull out, and it quickly hooks in. The wool is amazingly sort of like grippy, and it's surprising how just a little bit of twist is all you need. It's quite nice because I find with this wheel I can actually, if I want to do something else while I'm doing this, like watching television or something, it's perfectly feasible, or chatting to someone. You're not concentrating to the extent that you can't, you know, hold a conversation and enjoy, and sort of like a knit and a natter, for want of a better word, but it's good. While I'm spinning, I try and keep an eye on the bobbin to make sure that I'm filling it evenly. So I've got a little bit of like a hillock forming here. What I've just done now is I've just moved the thread over to the next hook, so that it will now fill up this bit of the bobbin, and I'm just trying to keep it evenly by moving it across the hooks on the flyer. I like the noise that the wheel makes. It's a nice gentle sort of noise with the bobbin flying around the flyer. Well, I've now got a couple of bobbins of wool, so these are obviously both single ply. Well, for the next stage I'm going to be plying the yarns together. So when they come off the spinning wheel, they're like a single ply, and I'm going to make a 2 ply, so make them thicker, make them stronger by twisting them together. So I've put the 2 bobbins full of the single ply on my Lazy Kate, and this holds them, and they can spin around nice and freely on here. I can then, using the spinning wheel, join these 2 together to another bobbin that I've loaded up on the spinning wheel, and that will give me my 2 ply. So this is the bobbin that I've put on the spinning wheel. I've put this yellow leader thread on here, and what I'm going to do is tie my 2 threads from my Lazy Kate, and then I can start. Now, for doing the plying, I'm going to be turning the wheel in an anti-clockwise direction, and what the wheel will be doing is basically putting some spin on my threads. So anti-clockwise, and it's a similar idea to before, in as much as I give the 2 threads a twist, but it's a twist in the opposite direction. As my bobbin fills up, I'm just going to move along to the next hook, so I get this reasonably evenly distributed. So I'll carry on. So it's a matter of trying to assess how much twist you want to give it. You want to give it enough twist that it sort of holds, but not so much that it then tends to try and bounce up on itself. And then what I'll do, once I've done this, I'll actually wash it, and that will help make the twist set. So I'm going to be using this thread for some weaving. Now you could actually just use a single ply for weaving, and that's what a lot of people do, but I thought I'd have a bit of fun doing some plying. Obviously if you're knitting, people usually tend to ply because you obviously get a stronger thread like that. You can imagine people in years gone by being in their little cottages doing some spinning in the evenings, trying to work by candlelight, and all chatting around a nice fire. Probably a romantic, idealised view. Obviously, as you fill a bobbin, you may need to change your tension because the diameter of it's effectively getting larger and larger, so it will pull through a bit quicker. Well, I've now got my 2-ply wool, so I'm going to take it off my spinning wheel and put it on my niddy noddy. Now, all a niddy noddy is, you can make one of these out of 2 coat hangers if you wanted to, but yeah, all it does, you just wrap your wool around and then you can get it off and you get like a skein. So basically it's a big loopy bundle of wool which you can put little ties around to stop it getting tangled up. It's a good way of having your wool and not getting it all twisted. So all I do with this is tie it on one corner, one edge, whatever you want to call it, and then you just go around. So I'll just loosen off the tension on my machine so it comes off quite easily. Oops. And then do this properly. Da da da, da da da. And you just go around like that. So I've loaded up my niddy noddy, and what I'm doing now, I'm just putting around little ties to keep it all together. So it's all tied now. I can take it off. A little struggle to get it off, but it will come. And there we are. I now have one nice skein of wool. So what some people do at this stage, they twist it like that and loop it through. What I will do with this now is I will wash it in warmish water with a tiny bit of soap, and that will set the twist. Some people call this part of the stage finishing. So I've got a nice basin of warm water. I'm just adding a bit of soap, it's actually shampoo. And then I'm going to take my skein and soak it. Will set the wool, make it nice and relaxed and ready for use. Alright, just wash the soap out. It does smell lovely. Just squeezing out the excess water. And now I'm going to let that dry just by hanging it and putting a weight on the bottom to keep it under a bit of tension. Well, there you have it, one nice skein of wool, and I'm actually very pleased with the way this one's turned out. It's come out nice and evenly, which is a bit unusual for me. Anyway, that's my process of spinning on the Ashford wheel, and I'll be using this wool on my weaving loom, my little 4-shaft loom that I've got. I had a bit of fun while I was doing the plying, and I just had a go at mixing 2 different colours. Bit of cream with this one, and it's interesting the effect you can get. So again, experimentation, quite interesting. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next film. And if you haven't subscribed, I suggest you do. Then you won't miss out. Okay then, bye bye.